A man hated his reflection in the mirror. The mirror was cracked and old, and gave back to him a distorted view of himself. Whenever he looked into it, he saw only his flaws reflected back at him. One day he decided he'd had enough. He took a hammer and broke the mirror into tiny pieces. "That's better," he said with a smile. "Now I don't have to see myself anymore." He went about his business, trying not to think about how he looked, but after a while he started to feel better about himself. He walked with his chest out and his head up high. Then one day he looked into a clean mirror and was shocked. He realized that it wasn't the mirror that was cracked, it was him. All this time he'd been blaming the mirror for his flaws, but they were his to begin with. He felt ashamed for not seeing it before. Why had he broken the mirror? Now he couldn't even get a glimpse of his reflection. Then he remembered something an old woman had once told him. She'd said, "Life only gets better when we stop blaming others and start trying to fix ourselves." He thought about it for a moment. Was she right? Had he been trying to fix himself, or had he just been trying to escape from who he was? He went to get another mirror, and this time when he looked into it, he saw a broken man looking back at him, a man who was more concerned with his appearance than with who he was. The man in the mirror looked sad and ashamed, and as he stared at his own reflection, he realized that it wasn't his looks that made him unhappy. It was the fact that he didn't like himself. The old woman's words echoed in his ears. Life only gets better when we stop blaming others and start trying to fix ourselves. He knew she was right. He had blamed the mirror for his flaws when all along they had been his own. He had tried to escape from who he was instead of trying to improve himself. He took a deep breath and looked away. He knew what he had to do. He needed to find a way to become a better person, someone who was more than just his appearance. He needed to find a way to become more than what he saw in the mirror. As he walked away, he left the broken pieces of the mirror behind him. They were a reminder of who he had been and the mistake he had made. But he also knew that they were a reminder that he had learned from his mistake. He had seen his flaws and had chosen to do something about them. From that day on, the man worked hard to become a better person. He was kinder and more compassionate. He was more honest and trustworthy. He became someone who was proud of himself, someone who didn't need a mirror to tell him that he was beautiful inside and out. And so the moral of this story is, we often see in ourselves only what we want to see. We deny our faults and ignore our flaws. But the truth is that it is only when we are honest with ourselves that we can truly see ourselves. And it is only when we see ourselves clearly that we can begin to change. Like the man in the mirror, we may try to escape from who we are, but the only way to become better is to face ourselves honestly. Only then can we begin to improve and become the best versions of ourselves. If you enjoyed this story, please leave a like and share with your friends and family. Thank you for watching.